Hey everyone, my name is Ajit Singh and I am your personal interviewer. In this video, I will be interviewing a front-end developer candidate, but here are the challenge for you. Try to answer those questions by yourself before the candidate does. If you want me to take your personal interview, fill out the form given below and also you can mail me directly on my Gmail ID. Let's see how well you can do.
My name is Tanu Kumari, and I've completed my BTech in Computer Science Engineering with 9 CGPA from 𝐸𝐾𝐄 University. Apart from that, I have 1.5 years of professional experience as a React developer, and during this time, I worked with SC Agency and Sathi Digital Software Solutions Company, where I was supposed to work on front-end part for building scalable application and user interfaces.
Okay. Tanu, can you please share your screen and turn on your camera? What is React?
So React is an open source JavaScript library which is used for building user interfaces. It works on single page applications and it uses virtual DOM so that our React apps becomes more faster compared to the technology that works on the real DOM.
Okay. So why we need virtual DOM? We have already real DOM, like, huh? So why we need a
Right.
virtual DOM?
Okay, so actually, uh, suppose we have to change, like we are getting like some elements, and there are some minimal changes. Suppose writing just a single text or anything else. So in that case, changing the whole real DOM, that will be not a good approach. So in that case, we work on the virtual DOM. Virtual DOM, what it works like. It checks the like previous existing things that we have to change, and then change only the real in the real DOM. Not it's a change for everything in the real DOM. So it works like on the virtual DOM. So that makes it speeds faster.
Okay. So what is JSX?
JSX. Well, so JSX stands for JavaScript XML, and with the help of JSX, we can write HTML look-like code in JavaScript. Using and in the React JS does not support the JSX, so Babel compiler converts the JSX into the JavaScript code.
Okay.
So we can pass
So
expression in the JSX, right?
okay. So we can run JSX file direct to the browser.
Yes, it's possible, but it's go to like it's automatically Babel's done that. So this is a good approach.
Okay. So in React, we are using key. So why we using key?
Okay. So, sir, like when we have to show the list on the UI, so to reference the unique ID, in the key we pass unique ID, does not refer to the same thing. So we pass the key, and we can pass the unique things like ID, that is the unique. So we pass it.
Okay. And what is component?
Components is used for reusable things. Suppose we have to create like header components, so that we can use in another way. We have to call headers in all the across all our pages. So we can create using the in the components, and we can create as a components header, and we can pass where we need it. So that's used for like reusability.
Okay. So do you know what is React hook?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
React hooks are basically functions which we can perform any actions like some of the React hooks like use state, use ref, use reducer, use memo, use like that.
Okay. So do you ever create any custom hook?
Uh, Actually, yes, I create custom hooks and we create for like reusability of things. We use like custom hooks and we start with like renaming like use starting with. Like we the inbuilt React hooks like use this, so we give the name of custom hooks like use and whatever the name that we want to give.
Okay, great. Okay. And what is life cycle method?
Okay, so life cycle method basically like mainly consists of like component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. So component did mount is initially renders on the page when we have to change so something when the page re-renders, and once we have to change the state, so we use component did update, and once we have to remove the with the DOM, so we use component will unmount. This is the method in the class-based components, but in the case of functional components, we do with the use effect hook.
Okay. So in functional based component, we don't have life cycle, right?
Right. Yeah, sir, we maintain with use effect hook.
Okay.
Like use effect with empty array, the empty dependency array we use for component did mount, and once we have to perform like component will mount, sorry, component did update. So in the dependency array we pass the state that in like suppose on the button click we have to change that state, so we pass that dependency in the dependency array, and
Okay.
once
So
we return something from in the use effect, so that will go with component will mount.
do you know about class component? Oh, class component and functional component.
Actually, so majorly I worked with functional components.
Okay. So you don't know about class component, right?
Right, right.
Okay, no problem. And what is high order component?
Uh, so high order components are the components which takes a component and which returns the component. And basically we use it for readability where we have to pass the component inside of higher order components. Okay? So suppose there are two components. So one will be high order because once we pass the component inside the main components.
Okay. And what is the difference between use state and reduce?
Okay. So, sir, use state is used for state management. For use state, it takes two arguments. First is the initial state, and the second is the function that with the help of that function, we change the state of that data. And use reducer is also doing the same, but if we have to like consider the it means like remember the previous value as for the complex state logic, we use reducer, and it consists like action reducer and dispatch inside the use reducer.
Okay. So what is the use of use effect hook and what is the cleanup function inside it?
Okay. So, sir, use effect hook is used for side effects calls. For example, we have to perform API. We have to face the API. So we perform in the use effect hook. And for the cleanup function, we can like return something. Return. So in we can like clean the function in the within the return statement.
Like how?
Okay, so like I'm getting the example. If we are suppose we have the set timeout functions, right? So we call it in use effect, and once we have to perform once we get the timer ready and before timer, it should be it should not perform. So in that case, we can clear that timer within the use effect. So
Okay.
by doing
Where we use callback.
okay. So, sir, use callback are used for memoizing the functions when when we don't have to like re-render the multiple functions. So, in that case, we memorize the functions with the help of use callback. So, instead of like memoizing the value, it memorizes the whole functions.
Okay. So how to perform automatic redirect after login?
Okay. So we can after login we can do with the navigate, and for this we create a routing with help of React router. So we can manage the state if user is login. So we will redirect to the home page. So we can do with like navigate to slash, that is the home page.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Okay. And how can we optimize our React application? What are the ways? What are the method? Yeah.
Yeah. So there are various ways for like optimizing the React applications. First is the use memo. If we are suppose doing the expensive calculations or something uh, that is we can take the example like API calls with the get request. Right? So in that case, instead of calling again and again that function, we can memorize that value. Use memo. And apart from that, we can also perform code splitting and lazy loading. So whatever the need, when the user needs that component or that data, then only we have to show that. So with the help of this, we can optimize our React.
Okay, so how can we do code splitting?
So sir, code splitting is done like with the help of lazy. We import from the React, and in lazy we import lazy and we pass a callback function, and where we import that data. And with the help of like suspense, like suppose if we have to calculate, we have to like code split like data that we are fetching something that is API calls or any data which is the heavy data. So in that case, we can also code split it for that thing. So we can do with the help of lazy. In the import, we can do only load the data when we have to click the button or anything else. And we with the help of suspense, we can also fall back until the data is not loaded. We have to show some things like this is the loading. So we can do achieve this.
Okay, and what is different between props and state?
So props are basically the properties that we pass from parent to child components, and the state are basically the data that we have to show on the UI, or we can change it.
Okay, and do you know what is prop drilling?
Yes, sir. Yes, I know it.
And
So
how can
suppose,
yeah.
yeah. So prop drilling is a method that we have to pass data inside the nested components. Suppose we have a main component that is our app component, and there are some child components like A, B, C. These are the child components. Now inside A, it's also a component that is the nested component. So the data we have kept in the app component, and the nested child which is inside A component. So that component needs the data. So in that case, we have to pass from app component to A component, then A component to then its nested child component. So
Yeah, yeah.
in this way, we are drilling the data. So this is known the functionality that is prop drilling. So ever A component does not need that data, but if we have to pass the unidirectional flow that is parent to child. So in that case, we are passing the
Okay,
data.
so how can we avoid these things to passing multiple child?
Yes. So, sir, we can avoid like if we do like central store from we can pass the data which is required the component. So we can achieve with context API and Redux management toolkit. We can achieve this
By which?
context API, sir,
And
and Redux.
Redux. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So what is the difference between Redux and context API?
So, sir, context API and Redux both are used for state management, where we create a one state and we can pass the data, the components which is required. But once we have to work with like larger applications, in that case, it's better way to use Redux. And once we are working with a small components, so a small application, so it's better way to work with context API, because with the help of when if you are reading for the multiple like a complex application, so it will be more messy with to work with context API.
Okay. So can you please explain the data flow in Redux? How can we store? How can we fetch the data? How can we update anything?
Okay. So basically, I have worked with Redux management toolkit. Redux toolkit. So in that case, we create a store, which is the central store, and we create with the help of configure store, and we pass that store inside our main component, like main JSX, inside the provider wrapper, and we pass with the store name, and we use create slice where we initialize the state and reducers and the actions that we have to perform, and then the components which is required that data. So we select the store using the use reducer and the method using the use dispatch method.
Okay. Okay. So, what is hosting in JavaScript?
Okay. Okay, so hosting is a JavaScript behavior in which the code is moved to the top of the execution before its declaration. So suppose we are creating a variable with var. So we have created a variable with var with line number 2 and we try to access with line number 1. So in this way this is hosted, but we get the undefined value in the case of var. But in the case of let and const, we get reference like temporal dead zone because we cannot access the variable before its declaration.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the difference between let, var, and const?
Yes, sir. So, sir, basically, var is a function scope and global scope. And once we create a variable with var, so we can redeclare it. Suppose we are creating var a equals to 10. So we can also do with var and a. We can also modify the value with var. We can redeclare. But in the case of let, we can initialize the value. We can modify the value, but we cannot redeclare with let. But in the case of const, uh, we can also we have to give the value at the time of declaration, like const a equals. We can't keep it blank like const a and we are not passing. So this will give the error. And we can also not modify the value, like we are supposed creating a variable like const a is equal to 10. So and we want to modify it a equals 20. So it will give the error. So these are the basic differences with the blade var and const.
Okay. Explain pass by value and pass by reference.
Okay. So in the in case of pass by reference, we refer with like addresses. We are talking about the addresses. We are passing the addresses. But in the case of value, we are passing with the value. And in the case of reference, we are not giving the value, but we are giving a reference of that variable.
Okay. So, what is deep copy and shallow copy?
Okay. So, shallow copy, it means that we are copying the object or the array. We are cloning the object and array. So, it copy with the first level. Suppose we are creating an object and we have nested things like cost person. We are getting an object. It has a property like name, age, and inside this we are also passing the addresses. So and once we clone that object in the another object, so it will only copy the first thing that a and that is the name and age. And once we modify in the second object where we are cloning, so it will not affect to the first one. But in the case of addresses, which is the nested one, it will modify in the existing object also. But this is because we are doing the first layer of copying the object or array. But in case of deep copy, we do with all the layers with the first layer and the nested one. So we can create a copy object with the split operator, and in case of deep copy, we can do with the structure clone or JSON dot pass, and we can pass the object inside that.
Okay, Tanuk, can you please give me example of shallow copy and deep copy by performing any
So,
example?
okay. Can I open the compiler?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, so. So suppose I'm creating an object like person and just keeping the value like name and age. And once we try to like copy inside another like person one, so we can achieve with the split operator person. Now once we console log a person one, it will give the same value with the same properties. We can access this person one dot name and it will give the same value. Now we have to change the value of person one, and we want to change that name, suppose Radha. And once now we are trying to access this, so it will not affect to the person. It will only change in the person one. Yes, we can access person one, and suppose I'm going to access this. Just a second. Okay. Yes, so here we can see this is the here I have changed the name inside the person one, but it's not reflecting the person. We can easily change, but if I'm doing like addresses, and in the address I'm taking like state and city. So once I try to modify the address with person one, like I'm doing here, person one dot address dot state. Now I'm trying to access this. So it will change inside person as well. I have only changed in person one, but here if I doing the console with person, so state is changing the person one is also. So this is a shallow copy because we are copying the object, but it's doing only one level. So here we can see the name is same because it's doing with the one level, but it's also changing like
Okay.
addresses. So it's changing
Yeah.
both of the things. That's it.
Okay. Got it. So Tanu, I have sent some question in message. Okay. Copy it
Yes,
and
sir.
paste, and tell me what will be the output.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, sir, type of null is an object which is a known JavaScript code. This will be the object. And in case of the two, that is zero double equals zero. So it's the equality operator, and it's check before comparing the value. It converts to the like number. So it will give the true value. And in case of the third one, that is zero triple equal zero. So here we are checking with the strict operator, strict equality operator. So it check both the type as well as the value. So here the value is same, but the type is different. Like one is the number, one is the string. So I think it will give the false, and like 1 2 and the 1 2. Okay. So I think it will also give the false because even in the case of array, even the value is the same, but they point to the different addresses. So they are not the same in case of this. And in console nan triple equal nan, it will be false for not a number, because even we can not show that we are getting nan with the help of which. Suppose we are passing the number in a direct object or anything else, so it will also give the nan. So we are not sure that from which we are getting the value. So this is also will be false. And type of functions type of, I think it's a function.
And Tanu,
Type of function. Yes, sir.
can you please remove all the number 1 2 3 4 5 6? No, it
From
will
where,
give
sir?
the error. Before console, there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 number.
Okay, yes, sir, yes,
Remove
sir.
that. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it will give the error.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so are you sure these are the correct answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so run the code.
Object true, false, 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 false. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm sending a second question. Okay.
Okay, we have created an array B1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Well, and this is the let I equals to 1 to 10. Okay. So we are passing inside the set time of function that we have find, that is the 1 2 3 4 5 6 will show after 1 second. In case of where the value with where, I think so with let, it will here we are trying to like print the array value. So we are looking through the first one is the 0 index. So it will print 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So it will print like after 1 second. Here we are like giving the time on like it will print with 1 second. So I think the output should be will be in the case of this. It will print like is the value with after 1 second. In case of where I equals to 0 and 0 to 10. So we with the case of where it refers to another till the data is like this. So I think for the 10 we have 5 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 we have 5 here. Suppose it's going to the first one, then the reference of this height which is 2, then 3, then 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
So,
So
so
in case of where, I'm not sure, but listen,
yeah, go on.
I yes, I think for this it will print like 11 because it's a looking through, but where taking like referencing the same addresses. So in the case of let, it will create the new one and it will like print same reference to the same value. But in case of where, it is not to reference the value, it will reference the like addresses. So in case of where, I think sir 11 will be printed with like 10 times after 1 second. I think so.
Think again.
Should I check it, sir?
You just need to focus on like what are the cases of let and war.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And if you other let, it will I think print the same value. In case of yes, I think I is 0 and in the time where it will reference to the zero. Let let will give the same.
What?
I think so with the help of like we are using let, so here it will be the same value that we 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. But in case of where, I'm not sure. I think because it gives to another value like till the time that it increases, it will reference to another. So 1 2 3 4 5 like it will loop through 10, but at that time that it will print, it will show like 11, 11, 11, I think 10 times. I'm not sure, sir. I think
Why are you telling again and 11? Why does 11? Okay, let's run the code.
okay, okay. Yes. Okay. Value is not 11 because it will not 11. We are referencing the array. 10, 0, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I think fine. Yes, for the letter I okay. Yes, actually I was going the right direction, but I don't because it will till the time the loop of 10 it will go with the I of 11, but there is no value, so it will refer the undefined value.
Okay. Run the code. Yeah. Great.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. For that is yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, I have sent another question. Okay.
Function test we are calling, and so we are checking the conditions if true. So where is 5 and let b is 10. So in case of but we are accessing the value where is the function scope and the global scope, we can also make the value, but with the help of let is the block scope. So for let for a we will get the value that is 5, but because it's function scope as well as block scope, global scope. But in case of let, it will give the error because b is not defined. We are getting the b with let. It's the block scope. So
And what will be the error? What?
b is not declared, b is not defined. Like
Okay, great. Run the code.
b is not defined. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
It will go with I0. We are getting the asset and not. So 0. Then after it goes to the 1, then 2, then 3. Console of I. So variable change till that time 1, then 2, 0, 1, 2, it will 2. Then. So it will be print to 3 with 3 times.
Okay, and what if I want 1, 2, 3 through 1, 2, 0, 1, 2?
0, 1, 2.
Yeah.
So we can go with let.
Okay. Okay. So in object, can we create
Yes.
duplicate key?
In object, can we create duplicate key? Uh, like we are getting object like person, so we want to create like object dot name same and the name, and another we are getting the same name, right,
Yeah.
with the key name.
L- Let's suppose we have object inside that name Ajit. After that, we have again name Tanu. So we can do
Yes,
that
sir.
or not?
First we have okay, so we are modifying the value, yeah, or like with the same like name key like name key. We are like suppose const name like name will be Ajit and the second line it will be name will Tanu, like that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, like this.
Okay. Name. I think sir, we can do it. I think, but I think the latest will be latest will be considered.
Okay. I have sent one question.
So here const equal x. We are creating object x1 and b is the x2, and we are spreading the a like object a. Okay, so console.log b. What will be the b value? First is it. A is x1 and we are spreading the value with b, so it will be like x1, 1 and 2 we are passing the same. Okay, so what will be the value? I think it's 1 because okay, so let me think, sir. Okay.
Okay.
we are spreading the a value and x is 2 and we are spreading the 1, right? So I think 1 and 2 and the latest one. I think sir, it will be 1 because it's the same key like you were explaining the like object key where for the duplicate one, right? So first is the x2 and then it will pass the x1 value. So it's override the value of x. So it will be 1.
Okay, that's the correct answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have sent another question. Do you know what is promises?
Yes, sir. I know it.
Tell me.
So
Tell me.
okay. So basically, promises is an object which represents the eventual completion of failure of asynchronous operations. So to deal with asynchronous operation, we use the promises. It has like 3 states: pending, fulfill, and rejected. Initial state is the pending. Once pending, like promise is resolved, so we get the fulfill. And once the promise is rejected, so we get the rejected state. And we can perform like multiple asynchronous operation with the promise chaining using like .del method.
Okay. So why we need promises?
So to deal with asynchronous operations,
Okay. So we have async await, right?
right, sir?
So why we use that?
Actually, promises and async await both are the same. Like this is the modern way to write asynchronous operation with async await. We can say that it's syntactic sugar with over promises. That is the async await. And with the help of await, like it waits for the code, so it looks like something like synchronous code with the help of async await. So both are the same. It depends because we get the more readability in case of async await, and once we have to deal with multiple asynchronous call. Asynchronous operation which are dependent on each other. So if we are doing with a promise, so it will create dot then method. So it becomes more messy and code readability is not good. So it will be good with async await.
Okay. So in async await we use await. Why we use that?
Yes, sir. Uh, because once to resolve the promises, right? If we are using async and we are not await using the await, so it returns the promise. So to resolve the promise, we have to use the like await keyword, and await is used with async.
No. I'm asking you that
Yes, sir.
what is the work of await? Like.
To wait. Suppose we are calling the API, right? So it
Okay.
will wait for that API calls till that we don't get the value, and then after the next line of the code will be executed.
Okay. So I have sent another question. Okay.
So first is the start, and getting a set timeout. Okay, we are resolving the promise and promise one. This is the immediately invoke functions, async functions, and okay. This will not invoke them because we are just calling it here. Promise dot result inside of it. Okay. So sir, okay.
Yeah.
So the first will be like start.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it goes to the next line like set timeout, and then there is a promise. But in promise and set timeout, a promise gives the preferences over the set timeout or anything. So it goes like promise dot result dot then promise on. Okay. So it will go with like callback queue for running this one. But meanwhile, we are also like here we have created immediately invoke functions with the async functions. Okay, in async functions, so the immediately invoking, so it will go I think inside async first, like set timeout and after promise. It's not good. It will like print inside async. First we are calling with immediately invoke as we are creating. We are trying to invoke it. Then it will wait for promise dot resolve and then it will okay. And then we get like after await. Well, await. Then start this one. Invoke here we are not calling anything else, so this will be end. Then it will goes to promises, then promise one, and then set timeout. Promise one, then set time out. Okay, sir. So
Okay, so
what I am thinking, yes, sir.
yeah,
Actually, the first will be like asynchronous, one, so it goes with the start. So it will print the start, but then it goes to the set timeout, right? So it goes. It's not. It will be in the call stack. It goes to the back, like event loop or to execute that. Then after it comes to the promises. So obviously promise will also async operations to resolve this. So it will also go with the not will be in the call stack. Once we come with line number 66, so here we are getting the immediately invoke function. So it will be invoked as we are getting. So I think from here it will console the print like inside async, and then after reloading the promise, it will be after await, and then after like end will be executed. Till that time, promises and set time will be in the queue. So over set time out and promises, promise gets the preferences. So it will print promise one, and then after set time out, I suppose. I think yes, sir.
are you sure they are correct answer?
I think so. Actually, I'm confusing because immediately invoke function with, because as we are calling with this, I think so.
Okay,
This
no
sentence.
problem. Run the code.
Okay, fine. Okay. Start inside async from promise dot resolve. Okay. Okay, from it goes to the end. So, sir, are you, because here we are like not giving the same, no? We are getting the promise. We are
Yeah,
not going to this one. Okay. Start
you
inside
understand?
async. Yes, sir. Till the time it like comes out of this, like for the waiting, and in the call stack it goes like and that is the one,
Yeah, because
and
this
then
is a micro
promise
task.
will give the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then after it, yes,
Okay, so
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tanu,
Continue.
yeah, Tanu,
Yes,
please, can you tell me what is event loop?
yes, sir. Actually, sir, event loops works as a manager, we can say, because one is the call stack queue, where our functions is like calling the call stack queue. Another is the like callback queue, I think. So in that case, and like set timeout, that is asynchronous operation, the function that taking the time. So what checks event loop? So checks that like our call stack is empty or not. Once the call stack is empty, so it pass the like functions inside the call stack queue. And till the time if first stack is not empty, so it check like the call in the callback queue, all the functions will be inside the async of functions will be inside the callback queue, and the work of event loop is like checking if the first stack is empty or not. If this is empty, then based on the preferences, like here we are saying like promises and set time out, so it will give the preference to the promise. So then it goes to the call stack in the promise, then set timeout like welch.
Okay, so let's suppose I have a string. Okay, a string
Yes,
like
sir.
uh, my name is Tanu. Okay, my name is Tanu Kumari.
Yes, sir.
I want
Yes,
to
sir.
find I want to find total number of vowel.
What? Okay, vowel.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
should I write the code or only give the approach, sir?
write the code.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, so it's a string, and we are like this. So, okay. So we can create a variable with vowels, we can say, and we will keep like A, E, I, O, U. These are the five letters, which is the vowels. Then I will loop through with the string. Okay, before this, I think I should display this so that I can get great value. Okay, let me setting that. How can I do it? Okay, I will go with no. So suppose before this, what I want string of length, and I'm checking vowels if vowels inside this switching. So I string dot length and I plus plus. What I'm checking if vowels in like a string includes vowels or not. If it is, so I will add inside the vowels now. Or if I vowels like I should also like count variable for counting the vowels, what will be the to return the like my. So counting like this, and I will go with characters. Okay, not with low, okay, not with character string or off with string. So suppose I'm checking vowels, I will check vowels got includes like str. Str like char, not str. If it is, so I should like increase the count. So if I make my m, so it's not increased, to not increase, then to like this, and then after if a count is increased, okay, I think I should pass it inside the function. So function like calculate count of vowels, this takes this string, and then yes, and then after I will return the count value. Okay, so this is the loop close, not here. I think I should return here, and I should return from here count. Okay, so that one count vowels and then passing the string. Let's see if I pass it. str.
You did not pass. Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, okay, okay. Get it. Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. Student in the account. Vowels. E, I.
Okay. What if I don't want to use for loop?
Okay. Okay, so
Can you do it by using filter, or we can say, yeah, by using filter.
by using filter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I think I can do it by once. Like first, I can split the string so that I can get it in the array, and
Okay.
then I can perform the filter method. So that I could, right, sir?
No, no, no. Don't need.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So now I want this string to be reverse. Like my name is Tanu Kumari. I want this complete letter in a reverse form.
Okay. Using I can use reverse method or not?
Yeah, yeah. You can use.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'm taking the same string.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to perform the reverse.
Yeah.
The reverse string, and I'm passing the string inside this. What I can do it, I can split. It will be split. Then I can get the each characters, and then after I can reverse it and then join it. So I can do it like str. I can split this with then reverse, and then I can join with it to join the strings. Let me call this reverse. Yes, sir.
Okay. But what if I want from this string the longest string? Like my name is Tanu Kumari. I just want the longest word, Kumari.
Okay.
How can I get that?
In case of, I think I can do.
Okay. Do it.
Yeah. Longest string. My name is Tarakmari. I can keep split like this and check the counts what I'm thinking. Okay, suppose what I can do string str is split, and I think I should get suppose but I'm getting it. And now what I can check each character's length. Like open it. Just sir, actually I'm checking with. Okay,
Okay.
how can I do it? So if I string this, so I should give my name is. So what if I yes my name is Mari. I should run the loop and checks the count. If the count is like greater than this, so I should return that the name. Okay, I'm getting this one. I for this I need two variable like I should also install the index, and apart from that, the first should be count, checking the count button, and I load this zero, I less than str dot length, I plus plus. Then what I'm thinking, if str of I dot length, in count I can keep the value str of I dot length, so my it will be 2. Instead of this, what I think, this should be str of like I and dot length, and I check if count is less than str of not I, that is the zero length, str of I dot length. If count, so suppose the first one is the 2, 1 2, count is in the count I will have 2, and it the loop will be like 1, so let's check the length. 2 is less than 4, so yes, I say yes 4, so I will store in the count that str of I dot length. Okay. And in index I can store that index. Once I complete this, I should return not res, I should return str of index. Let me check. Undefined, okay, str of index. Longest string I'm passing, I'm splitting, I'm checking for the first length, that will be 2, and it's check if 2 is less than the 4. So yes, so it's 4, so count should be, in the count it will be 4. And I'm index, I'm storing the value that is the 1. Again the loop will run, it goes to the next value. Here I should return. Just a second. I'm updating this index and then str of that. Okay, after for loop, I'm trying to index value, that is the 4. Res is the split and app. Okay. Yes, sir.
So tell me what's the difference between map, filter, and reduce?
Okay. So, map, filter, and reduce are higher order functions, which takes callback functions. Map is used for like iterating through an array, and once we create, it creates a new array. It does not modify the existing one. In the case of filter as well. Once we have to map through and perform some action, perform some operations, so we can do with map for like iterating through map, like iterating over array. In case of filter, uh, if like we what we want to filter, suppose there is a condition we want the filters like if any number like and it should be even, so we can apply that condition inside filter method and it will give that value, the condition that satisfies it returns the value. But in case of reduce, it reduces the array and it gives the single value. Suppose we have to perform the like calculation of an array, that is the sum of an array. So we can use the reduce method to calculate the sum because it will give the first value and it takes the two arguments. That for the first one is the accumulator, which will go with all, which gives the value of current, and the first and the second one we give the initial value in the reduce method.
Okay. And what is debounce? Debouncing.
Yes, sir. Actually, so debouncing is used to stop the execution of the function. Suppose we have such input box, right? And we want suggestions inside that. We don't want to call off every typing. Like on Google, we type A, B, C, D, or anything that we work. Like we search soup. So we search through, so we don't want to call for as it will call the API for h it's for, we want to stop, we want only call the API once the user stop the execution, right? Once the user type the su, then only we want only one call. So through this we can optimize this, so that to remove the unnecessary calls for API. So in that case we can use the bouncing method because it's